This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's a brand new movie. It's called Spit and it stars David Wenham.
Texas Hordes face obliteration!
I do not believe this darkness will endure.
I need to get across the bridge into Pearl Bay.
That's not possible, I'm afraid.
This is Australia. It's still a free country, isn't it?
John Francis Spiteri has been located alive.
I'm currently suffering from a very bad case of amnestia.
So 22 years ago, Australia was gifted with the amazing movie Gettin Square. And Johnny Spiteri was born, and 22 years later, we have a brand new movie. David Wenham joins us now. David!
Oh, good morning. Good to be here.
Do you know what? I've seen the film. Fitz, it's bloody hilarious.
I've got to see it.
And it is so great. It must be, David, such a huge reward to sit there in the cinema and see a crowd reacting the way they were the other night.
Yeah, it is. I've been sort of travelling around the country showing the film before it opens on March the 6th. And you're right, the reaction's been pretty extraordinary, actually. I was at two sessions last night in Sydney, and the Cremorne Orpheum one, I thought they were going to, the roof was about to blow off with the level of laughter. Yeah, very, very, very pleasing.
Do you know what the other thing I love about it too is your character is a true supporter, if not a role model for the mullet. Now, there was 80 hours went into that wig, is that correct?
80 hours of hand sewing hair by hair onto a piece of lace to make the wig, and then once it's put on my head, I sit in front of a mirror, myself and makeup and hair artist Tess Natoli. We sort of craft it, and she cuts, and I go, take that bit there, that bit there. And there's also in the wig a lovely piece of Devon, as I call it, which is the ball patch at the back.
So was there a moment where you thought about growing it yourself, David? Were you going to do it yourself before you made the movie?
Well, the mullet's fine, but it's having the piece of Devon at the back of the head. I'd have to do a bit of a shave job, and I wasn't prepared to do that.
And if you need a snack with a bit of tomato sauce,
Yeah, I know, but I think I'd smell it a little bit too much. Johnny probably, he's got a bit of a whiff, but not that much.
Well, tell us about leading into a role, because you've been Faramir in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Friar Carl in Van Helsing, Dilios from 300 ripped David. So how do you prepare for Johnny Spiteri?
Literally, the wardrobe is the key for me with this one, and I hadn't worn a pair of thongs in 22 years. I'd graduated to Birkenstocks.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, sometimes I should admit it, Birkenstocks and socks, but 22 years out of the thongs. But seriously, the minute I put the thongs back on, the character sort of came back to me, and the thongs dictate how the character walks, and then I feel it, and then I squeeze into his lovely tight jeans, and the mullet with a ball patch goes on, and it comes back pretty quickly.
You know what I thought was so great too? And you look at when you look at world stage films that are made here in Australia, like Elvis that you were in, and Helen Thompson was also in that. Which
she plays Elvis's dad,
Yeah, she's in Spit too, which is phenomenal. Yeah. But when you look at Aussie talent and Aussie films being made, it's great to see the Hollywood version of Baz's Elvis, but to see the Aussie character in Australia... I mean, it's just so relatable that everybody can fall in love with. You just want more and more of it.
It's pretty cool, yeah. As you say, we've got a number of the cast members from Gettin Square who come back
22 years ago.
22 years ago, and we look exactly the same. But please don't laugh at me.
It's not fun.
Laugh towards me. But we also have the same crew, essentially, same director, same cinematographer, same designer, and whatever. And a lot of those people, they do get offered big jobs on big American films. They turn down so much work in order to actually work on this little independent Australian production because it actually meant so much to them. And we shot it 7 weeks, very, very quick to shoot a movie.
Right?
Yeah, and it was, I've got to say, the most productive and creative time that I've worked on a film shoot in many a year, and probably the most uplifting and joyous for the whole crew. Yeah, we loved it.
Well, it's obviously a comedy, but we are being told, and we have to get this lady on. We've had someone's been ringing us all morning knowing that you're coming on the show. Her name's Sian. She's from Elwood, and she's seen the movie. Sian, what did you want to say to David? The floor is yours.
Oh, look, I absolutely love the movie. I saw Gettin Square when it first came back, when it was first released, many, many years ago, and the only character I could remember out of that entire movie was Johnny Spiteri. So when I saw that the Ritz Cinema was having a special screening of it, I not only booked tickets for me, but I booked it for my imaginary friend who I was going to take with me, who hadn't even seen the movie.
Yeah.
And I went and I absolutely adored it. I laughed, I cried. I just loved Johnny. I loved how he ran in his songs. He's such an Aussie little battler.
Yeah.
And it was the best fun, and it was so joyful. And
Well
at the
said.
end of the screening last night, everyone clapped.
So,
And-
Brilliant.
so the emotional.
Just gorgeous.
What is the emotional side to it, David? Is there a moment?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a surprise for the audience because we didn't want to make Gettin Square 2, so there had to be a really good reason to bring the character back. And the first time I read the very first draft of this script, Chris Neist, who wrote it, I just thought, oh my God, it is inspired.
He's nailed it.
Yeah, he's absolutely nailed it. And without giving too much away, we get to see Johnny's backstory. We get to understand why Johnny is the way he is, and we also get to see him in a really interesting environment. He's basically like an alien thrown into, on another planet, whereby, here we go, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler at the beginning. He tries to sneak into Australia using a false passport, but doesn't get too far, so he gets thrown into immigration detention.
Yeah.
And so we meet some, fantastic new friends in there, and I won't tell very much more. Suffice to say that it's extremely funny and quite poignant at the
Have
same
you,
time.
David, done a F-bomb count on the film?
Whipper, all I know is that we're well into triple figures. Jonathan and I knew there were rather a few F-bombs in it, but I've got to be honest, we weren't aware of how many until the very first time we screened the film at Johnny Spiteri's spiritual home on the Gold Coast.
Of course.
And at the end of the film, we both turned to each other and went, oh my God, we didn't realise there was that many.
Yeah, but they make sense because there's teaching in it.
There is.
That includes the
every
F-bomb.
one of every F-bomb is justified.
When you talk about big films and you talk about crew and cast that, want to work on Aussie films and local films, are there films in the States that you've said no to or that you regret turning down when it was on the table?
Oh, yeah. Any characters?
There has been a few. I'll tell you one little story. I got quite some years ago. I got offered a film. It was an American job, and it was only 5 days' work. Yeah. And they said it's only 5 days' work, and this is the amount of money. I went, oh yeah, I'm in.
Great,
I'm in.
okay.
And they send the script. The script came. I started to read it. Then my character, in inverted commas, came up. And I thought, I can't do it. It's like the character was so unbelievably violent, but with no reason. It wasn't justified. And I thought, I've got kids. I can't do it.
that.
So I rang my agent. I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn it down. And he said, are you serious? And I said, yeah, I can't do it. And he said, really? Okay. Cut to, nobody has ever seen that film. It died at the box office. No one saw it. Cut to, the very next thing I got offered to do a Marvel job, and I didn't get to read the script or anything. It was a television series. I find myself not too many months after turning down that film on a Marvel job that I hadn't read. 2:00 in the morning in a warehouse in New York. I'm bent over, this body on the floor with a hammer in each hand, bashing the skull of this person. Yeah. And I had 2 special effects people on either side of me, squirting me with blood. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I done?
I could have taken the cash and no one would have seen it.
Completely.
Who do they think you are? What are these casting agents are like? No, he'd be perfect for that violent role.
Yeah, exactly.
Just before
Wenham.
you go, we had Hugo Weaving. He said his favourite Australian film industry is very healthy at the moment, and I know you're a massive supporter. His favourite movie was 10 Canoes. What's your favourite Australian movie of all time, David? Have you got one?
That I'm in or not in?
No.
Definitely Spit. That I'm in, definitely Spit. And Spit. And what I'm not in is a film that was made in the 1970s.
Yeah.
It's called Wake in Fright, which I think is probably it's my favourite. I think it's the best Australian film ever made. I could go on and on about some great Australian films, but I'll stop there.
Well done.
David, while you're in here, because it's commercial radio, we want to maximise your talent.
Do I have to read something?
No, you don't have to read, but we want you to play a game called Brand Man.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Dolce and Gabbana. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. man.
Fitz, when I saw David at the premiere the other night of the new movie Spit Out March 6, he said, I will come into the studio as long as we can play Brown Man.
Okay, great. Well, it's on.
Oh, yes. I've been, gagging to do this.
Your dream
Very
has
nervous,
come
I've got to be
true.
honest.
Very simple game here. So, you look, there's over a million brands in the world. So, the game is simple.
Your name is your buzzer, David.
Yeah,
David,
sorry,
right?
sorry.
So you got to get
So
in.
I'm going to read out a question about a brand, and you've got to answer to score a point. 10 questions. Whoever gets the most right is the winner. Question can be from anything from colours of the logo to a slogan to a jingle. All right, here we go. Let's go with the first one. Which deodorant brand's logo includes a tick?
Does it start with R?
Yes,
Clue?
it does.
Rexona.
Yes, it is. Good
start.
Wenham.
David Wenham.
David Wenham goes bang.
I thought you were going to go down.
Can we stop now?
Can we
No,
stop?
no. Here we
I thought
go.
you were going to go down the links road there.
Okay. Open happiness is a tagline for which brand?
Open happiness. Oh. Open happiness. Tommy, do you want to get involved?
I don't know. Is it Tinder?
No. No. You've let your mind run a little farther.
It's not bad.
It's not OnlyFans either.
It's not Nova, that's for sure.
Open happiness.
Open happy. Is it? Can we have a clue, Whip?
It's a popular soft drink.
Open happiness.
Tom. It's not Coca-Cola.
Yes, it is. Thomas Bryan Ivy.
Is it
One to
really?
you, Tommy.
I haven't heard that campaign.
Who came up with that?
I don't
Open
know.
happiness.
Yeah. Open it. There's the happiness. Here we go. Snap, Crackle, and Pop are found on which cereal? David.
Rice Bubbles.
Yes, it is.
Rice Bubbles. Yeah.
David Wenham, 2-1.
He's good.
On which streaming service would you hear this noise?
Fitzy.
Fitzy.
Netflix.
Yes, it is. Ryan James, you're on
It's
the
very
board.
Law and Order, isn't it?
Very Law and Order. How many do you do is a question asked by which brand?
Fitzy.
Fitzy.
Wheat Bix.
Congratulations, Ryan James.
How many do you do, David? How many did you do back in the day?
Back in the
my
day,
God.
I'd be 3. You'd be the dozen, wouldn't
Well,
you?
yeah, we
Back
got
in
up
the day.
we got up to 12. Well, Trevor,
Did
Hendy,
you
remember
really?
Trevor Hendy used to do
Yes.
12? Yeah, and so that's I tried to keep up with him.
You and Trevor Hendy are really similar.
Put on 10 kilos, unfortunately.
Okay, what brand uses the tagline, the happiest place on earth?
Disneyland.
Yes, it is.
It's a very close call then between Queensland and Disneyland. But Disneyland, yeah.
And I love how you're going into the Johnny Spiteri character as you do it.
That's just nerves, Fitzy.
Which brand does this jingle belong to?
Oh, Fitzy.
Fitzy.
Go on, here we go.
It's Cotty's.
Yes,
Cotty's
it is.
cordial.
Cotty's cordial.
All right.
My dad makes the fruit that goes to Cotty's.
That makes the cordial
That I like.
that I like best.
Remember, wasn't there my dad, Pixie's nose?
No, that's not
I don't remember that one. What brand was that one? Whipper?
Johnny Spiteri would have loved that. Okay, which brand has a Polaroid camera within its logo? Go on.
Oh, probably not, but I'm going to guess here and go out on a limb and go Kodak. But it's not, is it?
No, it's not.
No, I'm going to say Instagram.
Yes, it is, Ryan James.
All right.
Yes,
I
it
really
is.
wanted to say Polaroid, I've got to be honest.
Would have made sense. Okay, here we go.
It probably does. He's
probably
correct.
does. Okay. Taste the rainbow is the slogan for which brand?
Fitzy.
Fitzy.
That's Skittles.
You are flying, Ryan James.
Four. If I hit the lead, I think I've just
Okay.
overtaken him.
What about
Right, last
I
one.
thought it was going to be Pride.
Right, yes.
What about this? On the Skittles logo. The I dot is dotted with a Skittle. What colour is the Skittle? David.
Red?
Yes, it is. That is it. We go out on a high. Ryan James, you've beaten David Wenham by 1.
You'll be okay.
Tom, you were pathetic. Well done, everybody.
Well done.
No,
well done,
yeah,
everyone.
excellent.
What a great game, don't you think, David?
The best.
Just we're not recording or anything, but if you could just say, "Hi, I'm David Wenham." And Brand Man is a great game.
Hi, I'm David Wenham. I only play brand game.
Okay, the Brand Man, just for the purpose of the Brand Man.
Well, you're not recording. I can tell you're recording. Okay.
Yep.
Hi, I'm David Wenham, and I only play Brand Man.
Well done. You don't have to set him up just before he's about to say it,
He's
mate.
panicking. He's panicking. He's hard to work with.
Do you do cash for comment?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
I'll
about.
pick it on the way out.
We're
Pick it on the way out.
Can we get him out of the building, Tom?
March 6th, Spit will be in cinemas. It is magnificent. Great to have Johnny Spiteri back. David Wenham, love you, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Same.
Thanks, buddy.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.